Hey folks, hope you're doing great. Today I have another tape saturation plugin. It's from Tone Empire and it's called Reelight Pro. And what it's all about, we are going to check out now. So this tape emulation plugin, I have to say it's really easy to use. I played around with it now for a couple of hours and I tried it on this track here. I'm going to play you in a minute. It's a very easy and convenient laid out. Everything is quite clear. So let's go very quickly through the features. I'm going to talk what the settings do, and then we're going to hear some sounds. All right, so let's dive right in. And as you can see, we have knobs here, high pass and a low pass, which is basically a low cut and a high cut, of course. Then we have the input and the output knob. With the slider here, you can lock actually the input, so you can it has some sort of auto gain feature. When you drive up the input gain, it will saturate, but it also compensates for the gain actually, which is very nice because you can really drive the plugin with that. You have an output gain. Then you also got the bias control, which changes really the character a little bit. You can also dial in the compression because naturally real tape machines by nature, or actually by the physics of actual analog tape, it added saturation and also compression, which is modeled here. You also got a crosstalk, so if you have stereo signal, there's crosstalk between the two tracks, so 1 and 2, and it goes quite severe actually, so you can really dial up the crosstalk so much that it's basically a stereo track folds into mono. You can change the speed to settings here, slow and fast, and then you got here the different types A, B, C, D, E, and F, which are, they don't make it clear which model is what, but basically A and B and C are more the cleaner ones, and the D, E, and F sound more like the vintage ones, or maybe kind of like quarter-inch tape. So much duller, much more the tape sound, if you want to call that. And here you have, of course, the different presets. So as you can see here, that would be Telefunken. You get a Studer here, Revox B77, which is also quite nice. And so just let's play the song a little bit, so we see what we have. So let's solo the drum room here. And I'm going to show you what the plugin is actually doing. We have high pass and low pass. Then input. So you can really distort it or make it cleaner. For example, if I use the gain function here, the slider, so unlocked, the input acts normal. And when you lock it, it compensates. So you get the drive, but not the overall gain to it. Cleaner sounding and more drive. All right, then here we have the output, of course. Then we have the bias setting. So let's drive it a little bit more. And of course, those features also sound a little bit different on the various tapes. You can over bias and under bias it. Compression. Here we have the crosstalk. Not so obvious on this track because it's mono drum room. And the tape speed. So you lose basically when you go to the slow setting, you lose quite a bit of high-end information. Now the different tape formulas. These quite dull sounding. Without the tape plugin. All right, so what I'm going to show you on this track now essentially is I want to have a little bit more of a distorted drum room sound. So I created here this preset which I call Drum Room Drive. So let's load it up. Dialed in just a little bit of a high pass and a low pass. Added a bit of saturation here, over biased it a bit. Also added quite a bit of compression. And I used here the F setting, so to have a little bit more of the low end and not so on the high end. Sounds like that. And off. So let's play just the drums. First of all without it, and then I'm gonna add it in. And out. Out. Just adds a little bit more energy to the drum room, and which affects also, of course, the whole drums. And I really like that sound. I also played around with it on the bass track, so let's check that out. So the bass on its own sounds like that. Just the DI track, which has a little bit of a channel EQ going on here, just a low end bump. And I added a little bit here of bass enhancer with the Fat FX stock Logic plugin. Create here also a preset which is called Bass Fattener. I used here the type B, a little bit less compression than beforehand, also over biased it just a tad bit, same input saturation, made a bit more of a low pass actually and no high pass. And I changed the tape formula to slow here, so it sounds then like that. Really brings out the low end. And really makes it a bit more gritty and just overall more exciting and fatter sounding. Without. So together with the drums now. Works quite well, doesn't it? Then let's go also to the mix bus, and I'm gonna solo here now the mix down because I ran all the tracks through the analog console here. I did the mix down beforehand, and I added here the Reelight Pro. Here we also can check out the different presets. So I'm gonna disengage for now the mix bus compressor because it's already printed here. So just let's play the song without it first. Of course, in the mix bus itself, I don't usually use too much saturation, just a tad bit to just make it a little bit more glued together, a little bit more maybe compression, which I also added here, just to make it a little bit more coherent overall. Didn't do too much here with the bias, and no high pass or low pass, and just with the clean tape here with the A1. Let's see the different, here are some presets for the mix bus. For example, let's go to the clean master here. Try the Reeboks here. Yeah, that sounds now like 4-inch tape. Without it. It's really a thick tape sound, which you probably don't want on the mix bus here, but maybe for some genres it might work. Studer A18. Maybe that's quite nice. I like that. Let's try to the function here. Tape compression. You can really hear the compression going on. All right. I hope I could give you just a sneak peek into this plugin. Of course, go just to the website of Tone Empire and just try it out for yourself. There is a free trial, and see if it's something for you. I really like it because, first of all, it sounds good, and second, it's very easy to use. You can just slap it on different tracks where you just want to dial in very quickly some saturation. And I like that approach, of course. Easy and good sounding. All right, so hope I could give you a good review. Thanks for watching. I'm Marty, and hopefully I'm gonna see you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe to see other videos in the future like that, and bye.